Hello everybody, we're in a video. Today we're playing Amiga today, but for a different reason this time. This is going to be episode 2 of a video I did quite some time ago, which has done quite well. It's 10 things I didn't know about Amiga games, which I didn't know back in the day, which I do know now. Some of them are completions, some are close to completions, which is quite surprising how many things I didn't know. But anyway, the first video did very well. Thank you very much for watching those in no particular order. There's 10 things I didn't know, which I know now on the Amiga. Let's go. Okay, in no particular order, it's just 10 games of things I didn't know back in the day, which I do now. Start off with James Pond, Underwater Agent, a fantasy game, came out in 1990, never finished it. Okay, so the game is James Pond, Underwater Agent. It's a 1990 platform video game developed by British video game developer Millennium Interactive and published by Millennium Interactive and Electronic Arts for Commodore Amiga, Atari ST, the Acorn Archimedes and the Sega Genesis. It was also the first game in the James Pond series of games. James Pond has to solve puzzles and defeat the enemy, and the gameplay also involves around finding specific items to perform specific tasks, like finding keys to rescue captured lobsters, or finding sponges to bung up the holes of leaky oil tankers. James Pond must fire bubbles at the enemies to trap them, and then pop them to finish them off. The game itself is fantastic. I think it is actually quite a long game, but yes, we did have it back in the day, but not as a box version. With quite a lot of this we didn't understand. But the first few levels we got through with the occasional life being lost or two. But what we're going to try and do is basically find the minimum per level. Don't finish all of them, only got the minimum, you're good to go. We're going to go through exit 2. Total number, minimum required, and total achieved. There we go, fantastic. Mission 2. A peaceful mill pond is being polluted by the dumping of radioactive waste. We must guide the helpless fishy inhabitants to safety before they become mutated. And what I like about this game, certainly this level in general, and quite a few others thrown in, is where they are located. It's different per time, so it makes the game a little more interesting. It does say that at the bottom corner of the screen, we've got the time limit, and it tells you how many you've rescued and how many you need to rescue. You don't have to rescue all of them, but it helps get additional points. Points helps towards additional lives. You can earn them from score. But yes, another fantasy stage. But yes, you've got to try and stay in the water, but you also can go out the water, but it's never safe out the water either. But you can also kill the enemies, but yes, they do respawn, unfortunately, in this game. But there's another one. Take them to safety. Right, found another one. They will find occasional items. Some actually work for you, some will work against you. That actually freeze the time for a limited time. The nefarious supervillain named Dr. Maybe, also played as Dr. No, has overtaken the ruthless Metro Corporation Acme Oil Company, and is not only filled with oceans of radiation and toxic waste, but also threatening the world from its underwater layer. Right, enemies will respawn all the time. That was unfortunately has mutated, so pop goes the weasel there. Right, so we have got 3, 4 is the minimum score. Pick up a trophy, why not? Try and keep away from anything that's deadly situation in this game. There's a lot. Even that flower, it might look harmless, but you keep clear of the flower. That drains your energy very quickly if you get too close. Right, I think 4 lives is the maximum you can get in this game, but also, it doesn't matter how many lives you've got, if you run out of time, that's game over. Pick up the maximum 1, that actually makes you invincible. Pick up the potion, kills all enemies on screen. Right, on you go. The protagonist of the story and the player in the game is an intelligent, mutated, anthropomorphic mup skipper who was given the name James Pond, as in the legendary James Bond, and is hired by the British Security Service to protect the seas and take out the bad guys in the underwater areas. Right, so again, I'm doing the right thing. I'm going to try and go for the maximum. So we need 6, and this maximum is 7. In he goes. Right, that'll give us the maximum score. Might even earn us a life or 2. I think 4 is actually the maximum you can get. I don't know, maybe. As long as you do it in the time limits, we're good to go. But now we're going to go to the area I'm referring to, which is handy because the next pipe takes us there. Level 4. Here we go. Fetching fish. Total number required and achieved. 7 is perfect. Mission 4. Search for an old shipwreck to find bars of gold. Bring these to the waiting boat and watch out for the ghost of Captain Bluebeard and the vampire fish. Good luck, Pond. And this is where me and my brother struggled. We just couldn't get past this level. And around here are 2 jellyfish. You can't see them, but they kill you very quickly like that. And we just kept thinking to ourselves, how are we going to get past something that we can't see? How can we kill something that we can't see? And how are we going to find 8 blocks of gold? But I did read something in a Amiga magazine, because we didn't have the manual back in the day, and I heard something about sunglasses. And eventually I bought the manual, looked into the manual, and I realised that yes, the sunglasses is the key. But where are these sunglasses? Not the biggest item to find, but they are there. Now, the things you've got to try and find are always in different locations, which of course is a nice thing. but the sunglasses are always in the same point. But yeah, not the biggest of items, but yes, you can only hold one item in possession, and having sunglasses on your face does count as one item. So you cannot hold gold while having sunglasses on your face. But now, we're going to have no problems. Now we've got to try and find those jellyfish, and what I love about it is every enemy in this game will respawn, apart from jellyfish. So when you dispatch the jellyfish by using your sunglasses, they're not going to respawn. So now we can put the sunglasses down, we don't need them anymore. But of course, there's still many things to try and get round. But yes, you've got to try and use the teleports, which are the mushrooms, and now we've got to try and find the 8 gold and take them to the boat. The trouble is, you've probably wasted quite a lot of time at that point. But also, the vampires and also the ghosts, you can't kill. I don't think you can. The vampires you definitely can't kill. But anyway, another thing I didn't know back in the day also is the health bar. So what I'm trying to do is take some energy away. I didn't actually realise this also. If you go to your house, that also does replenish your energy. Again, another thing I didn't know. So there's another one. Go to the mushroom and we go to the pipe. Unfortunately, yes, it does replenish your energy, which I didn't know about, but also your time does not stop. So you go into the door and you can see any item you've picked up. I've also picked up 1p for the words of James Pond. But yes, as you can see now, my energy is filling up. And any items you also find along the way, including shades, do feature here as well. So now my energy is now restored, but of course my time is still ticking away. Okay, so now we've got to try and find all the gold pieces. Trouble is, some of them are in difficult locations. That flower will actually harm you, and it's very difficult to go in there, pick up that block of gold, and get out of there without taking damage. But yes, what I tend to do sometimes is wait to see if there's an item that can work for you. Like a magic wand, for example. Pick up the magic wand and actually protect you from enemies for a limited amount of time. Which is also very handy for vampires. I don't think you can kill the vampires. But also, where the vampires are located, 9 times out of 10, they can find space, and they're quick, and you can't really sort of avoid them without taking damage, really. You know, energy drains very quickly, but also you can actually place the gold bars down at any time. Right, I'm going to pick that up and get O in there. So now we are safe. Whether it's safe from anything, I'm not sure, but certainly safe from the evil flower. So I'm going to take that one away and go back to the boat. But yeah, I've got past it a few times, but I haven't got past level 5. That's the next one I've got to try and figure out. It's a good game. It is a really, really good game. I love it. Okay, with 16 seconds remaining, it's not even good for James Pond. I can't find his final piece of gold. But I've looked everywhere. But also, you can find the occasional hidden sections, which does get you additional letters in this case. But it's a mystery why your energy drains in this area. But yeah, it's letters I don't need right now. It's gold. Now, when you're close to running out of time, everything on screen actually goes faster. Whether they're running or swimming, it's fast, including the ghosts themselves. Now, I'm going to assume the block of gold is at the start of the level. Which I suppose is not a bad thing when you're running low on time. I'm just going to keep going. Go like the Kappas here. Alright, avoid that. Go around there. Yes, right in time to James Pond. Because even the ghosts go faster. There we go, it's confirmed. Go, 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 gadgets. Go, ponds. Right, found it. So he's found me, and there's another jellyfish. Unfortunately, no sunglasses. You can't dispatch it anytime soon. Exit's open, head over to area 3. But there we go, amazing. It's amazing what we can learn after so much time of playing this game. That is grabbing gold, fantastic. That is James Pond. There we go, next one on the list, another fantasy game, I do love it, but I've never finished it before. This is Bubble and Sticks, copyright 1994 by Core Design. Okay, so the game is Bubble and Sticks, a side-scrolling platform game for the Sega Mega Drive Genesis, Amiga and CD32, developed and released by Core Design. The Genesis version was released by Tenjin in the United States and features a promotional time for the Bubblicious bubblegum brand. The player controls Bubba, a redneck character who is accompanied by a sentient stick named Sticks. Sticks can be used in various ways to help Bubba to get past obstacles and enemies. For instance, Sticks can be thrust into a hole inside of a platform, create a platform under his feet to allow him to get the higher grounds. And in terms of high grounds, we're actually going a long way. The bit I'm referring to is that way. It's a fantastic game, but I've never actually finished it before. Okay, back to the start we go. It's a fantastic level, really is good. But yes, back in my younger days of getting this game, bear in mind we didn't have a manual. I tried quite a few times to see if there's actually a way of getting past this tree. And I just assumed you couldn't, but you can. But it's a great level. I love the fact the trees are looking at you, when you're not looking at them, when you're looking at them, they're not looking at you. Basically, you've got to try and turn your back on the tree, but first throw Bubba over its head. And you've got to try and hit the tree 5 times. And the 5th time actually turn it into a miniature tree, which allows you to get past it. Then you'll run like Forrest Gump. You'll try and capture this alien, which is running away from you. And that actually takes you to a bonus section. But in the meantime, keep going left and pick up these creatures. They all have different purposes. Some work as additional points, some work as additional energy, and some are actually checkpoints. And some of them do work as additional time for the bonus section that lies ahead. But only if you've picked up that alien. Right, avoid the spike-infested floor. But yes, sticks can be used in multiple ways for getting higher grounds. You can throw it in the air, and crouch and throw. But yes, it does play a bigger part. Now we're going to try and get back, but when you're going back, platforms that wasn't there originally are there now. Some of them do have platforms with nothing on it, and some do have things you can pick up, which of course is very handy. But yes, basically it's a bonus stage. So now we've got to try and finish the stage and try and pick up what you can, which wasn't there before. It all helps. But again, another thing I had no idea was the case. Kill enemies that appear, try and save your energy. You've got an energy bar, and you start the game off with 3 lives. Whether you get additional lives from score, I'm not sure. So once you do that, continue your journey over to the right hand side. But yes, the occasional platform will feature, but yes, it's weird because some of them don't have anything on there. It doesn't move, doesn't do anything. It's a random platform that's been put in place. But yes, the first time I got this game was actually a copied floppy I bought from a boot fair, which of course had no box, no manual. So it's quite understandable I didn't know this back in the day. But yes, quite recently I did look in my CD32 manual, and in that manual it does actually say bub and sticks can often escape by using methods other than violence. Oh, and by the way, Bubba can really get past that tree. And that was before or during I was doing a Monster Joystick unboxing video, which of course I played Bubba and Sticks on that video. And reading that manual then really made me sort of think, okay, I must do that one day. And I couldn't believe how simple it was. But yes, it's a nice thing, a really nice addition. But yes, interesting, I didn't know it, but having no manual made it understandable, I think. Now, the main enemy in this game is Waldo. He'll try anything he can to try and stop you, but there's so much in this game I've not seen before. But the game does have a password system. But yes, I've never actually seen beyond level 3, but maybe one day I will. But it's one of those games I'm learning slowly. Right, not too far away. But even though you can't actually avoid it, I still try and avoid his death ray. But that'll take you to the bonus section. If I've done anything correctly, you'll go straight there. Okay, we arrive at Sid and Zoot's Magical Funhouse. Another thing I learned about reading in the manual. But anyway, it's fantastic. But basically, it's a bonus section, which unfortunately is based around time. All those creatures rescued refer into seconds. 45 seconds is not a lot to do what needs to be done, even though I'm not 100% sure what you actually have to do. The first few times I tried it, I was trying to pick up everything. But no, I think you've got to try and reach the exit door, but I never actually managed to do. There's quite a few of these in this game, and it's random each time, but one involves around swimming. One involves around these bouncy platforms. One you've got to run like there's no tomorrow, and another one is done by basically using a lot of tightrope walking. But yes, you've got to be quick. The trouble is your character is not quick. Yes, you can sprint, but it's still what to do. But yeah, you can pick up things along the way, but I don't think it really sort of helps. Not towards time anyway, you've got to try and get through these pipes. But you don't lose a life here. But it's just a nice addition once again. But yeah, you've got to try and avoid these bouncy platforms. Yeah, unfortunately he's not really sort of sprinting that well. But yeah, it's probably very unlikely I'm never going to get past one, but I'll certainly give it a try in the future. But it's a nice addition. Another thing I didn't know, that is Bubba and Sticks. Okay, next one on the list, my third favourite game of all time is Bill's Tomato Game. Did a 2-part long play quite recently on my channel, but I cannot believe there was something about it I didn't know. Okay, so the game is Bill's Tomato Game, a puzzle game for the Amiga, designed by Bill Pullen and published by Psygnosis in 1992. The music done by Mike Clark. The concept of the game is similar to that of Sierra's Incredible Machine. A planned Sega Mega Drive port was cancelled, but a prototype exists and was released online in the year 2014. And that's level 1. There's your password. Level 2, the rules are simple. Get Terry Tomato from the launch pad at the start of the level to convey about on the other side by using a limited number of skills, limited number of tries, and limited number of time. Do it in the time limit and you move on. Anything you don't use is referred to points. First few are very short and sweet, always are. Level 3, level completion will occur when Terry Tomato makes a scissor jump without touching the ground and reaches destination on the other side. The player can modify the jump's distance, height and angle by using any of the various items in order to overcome numerous obstacles. The player has a limited number of these items and can use them as a limited number of Terry's jumps which can be used during a trial and error experiment, and there's also a time limit for each level. Password is Biogen. Okay, we skipped a few, we arrive at level 8. So you're probably thinking to yourself, what on earth do I not know about a game I thought I knew so well? And that's a good question. But yes, this is like the last game in terms of bonus sections. Now for years and years and years, and I've played this game a lot, not gonna lie. But yes, I've always wondered why they've got icons like this star up there in such a ridiculous location, because I kept thinking, well, I can't get that, I'm nowhere near that. so I've always avoided like the plague. But just before doing the long play, I thought, well, let's try and get it and see what it's worth. Maybe it's worth double or something. And all of a sudden, I was transported to this. It's a bonus stage, and we have 500 tries. And you've got to try and find and pick up as many of these stars as possible. Don't have a lot of time though, but tries are very, very, very generous. Once you've managed to solve it and you've done all you can do, then you've got to try and reach the conveyor belt by using your limited skills. But you can also stop your attempt in mid-go, which also does count as a go. Right, now we're going to try and get Terry Tomato to the exit door. We've got 574 attempts and 52 seconds. But we do need some serious fan power. So bring it down a little bit more, probably a bit too much now. But we do need a serious bounce. But I just cannot believe it, but I'm assuming there's one of these per area. There's 10 areas in this game, and there's your password. Okay, arrive at level 13. But yeah, sometimes you've got to get Terry Tomato from the left side to the right side. But in this case, you've got to get Terry from the right side to the left side. But using the same amount of skills, fan power. 3 should be enough, plenty of time, plenty of skills, and get the right amount of time for the drop. But there we go, I'm assuming there's one of those bonus sections in each theme. Okay, level 24. It's actually the third theme. I couldn't find one in the second theme. There was one level which I thought could have been the culprit. I spent about 10-15 minutes. I still couldn't find it. But I think I found a culprit here. It's down there. We'll go through the wall. So put the Jack in the box there to cushion the blow. Make the drop a small one. And now we arrive at the next bonus stage. Another 500 attempts and 90 seconds is plenty. But yes, none of these can make contact with any items you put down. And of course, we don't want the drop to be too big. So, I'm sure there is a pattern here somewhere. But yeah, stop it early, pick your moment well, and go for it. There's some are moving quite slowly, some are moving quite fast. But yeah, some of these bonus sections I'm sure are going to be more difficult to find in later times. But yeah, it was back in my brain back in the day. I thought, well, why are tokens in the hard to reach areas? And there is a reason for that. There we go, 445 remains. Okay, we see another huge leap forward in time. This is level 46. I found a culprit in the last theme, but I couldn't get access to the token. It was such a stupid location. 15-20 minutes was spent on that. I threw in the towel. But this one, I pretty much found where you got to put it. It's up there. But we do have to have the most incredible jumps on this one. Like that. Right, bonus level. 500 attempts and 90 seconds. Right, we've got to try and do it by using 1 fan and 2 well-timed bounces. It's going to look spectacular if it works first time, but of course, cannot fall from really big heights. There you go, just by the skin of his teeth. There's your password. Okay, level 52, the final one of this part of the video, and we'll move on. But anyway, once again, this is a game I can play for absolutely hours, and today I'm doing just that. But for a reason this time, so I'm really intrigued to find all these hidden bonus levels. But this one did feature on a 5-level demo of Amiga 47, I think it was. This was the 3rd level featured. And of course, I've been doing exactly the same thing ever since I've been playing this game. I put a Jamie Jack box right there. Not today. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. But we arrive in the next bonus section, and it's fantastic. Put 1 fan there, and we only have 1 blocking block, which is plenty. This was done by gravity. So place it there and pick up all this marvellous points and go to the exit door. Fantastic. I'll work on the other ones in a future time, but that is Build Smarter Game. Okay, it's actually day 2 of this video, but then I have been editing this video while I've been going. Next on the list, one of my favourites by Core Design is this Carve Up. A fantastic game. I'm actually not too far away from finishing this game, but I couldn't believe there was something I didn't know. Okay, so the game is Carve Up, a platform game published by Core Design in 1990. The game is based on City Connections, which is available for Amiga and Atari ST. And being one of my favourite games of Core Design, this got played loads, but wasn't very good at it back in the day. But also, when we got this game, originally, bought it from a shop which was in Maidstone and Kent at the time, which is called Kent Micro, and I wasn't a fan of manuals being printed on the back of posters. Of course, that was. And of course, the poster went on my wall, and over the course of time, the poster got thrown away. Not by me, but it got lost, basically. So yes, for many, many years, that box was absolutely manualless, posterless. Even this one astray also. I have got another box version now, but it does have the manual, but amazingly this time, no poster on the back of it. But this game was a mystery to me. I just kept thinking, well, there's a lot to see and do here, but you can't get many lives. In fact, I didn't earn a single life ever. But I knew about these letters. Now, if you spell all the words to spell bonus, you get a bonus, which is 25,000. And I even looked online. I couldn't see anything regarding these extras. I knew of it. I just didn't know how to get it. But yes, you spell the word extra, you get additional life. Now this game has 48 levels and you do have 8 themes. You've got to basically go around as Arnie to visit the 8 worlds featuring within 48 levels. You must drive over each platform, turning Captain Grimm's evil back into good. You must rescue your kidnapped friends, make all the world a happy place again, and go on to defeat Captain Grimm at the end of the level. Which is a lot to see and do, but I have actually reached the final theme. So how do you earn the letters to spell the word extra? What you're going to try and do is basically drive everywhere on screen, and you've got to try and turn Captain Grimm's platforms from bad platforms to good platforms by driving over it, except for one space. Leave one space unchanged. Do it successfully and you hear a bleep. That will tell you that a letter has appeared somewhere on screen, and it's different per time. But once you've got the letter on screen, you've got a limited amount of time to find it. If Turbo arrives on the scene, it's then taken away. And another thing I've learned over the course of time of playing this game is once Turbo is on screen, he'll track you down, and you don't get rid of him in 15 seconds, he's going to kill you on the spot. They can do that by either finishing the level or by picking up a token. If you pick up a token when Turbo is on the screen, that'll take him away out of the equation. So there's quite a lot to this game I wasn't aware of, but also weapons of plenty. You've got the ejector seat, the spare tyres, the oil can. You also have the gun, the big fender, which I've got now, the mortar, the depth charge, the backfire, the steam, the smart bombs, and the snowflake, as well as the speed turn and the alien metamorphosis, which turns all enemies into carrots in this case. But anyway, we're going to try and pick up another icon, but leave one unchanged, and hopefully, if the letter will arrive close by, we should be okay. We've got the X. Bingo. All we need now is an A, and we get an extra life. So yes, an absolute mystery to me. I kept thinking to myself, how do you earn these extra letters? And the biggest mystery of all was the manual itself. It doesn't tell you either. It only tells you about them, not how you earn them. I was looking on the internet, I found nothing. I even got desperate one time. I actually looked at someone else's long play to see if there's any way of doing it. And that long play, of course, I did it flawlessly. Not one single extra letter was found. So it was even more of a mystery. But eventually, I figured it out. And this is a bit of a game changer. It's still a difficult game though. But yes, because there's 5 letters in the word extra, and there's 5 levels in each theme, technically the maximum you get in this game is 8 extra lives. And we've done just that. So that turns for our lives counter from 4 to 5. Then you've got to try and find the final piece you left behind without being hit by Turbo or any other enemies, and you move on. Another thing I learned also from the manual is the reason why your character does not actually stop in its tracks is because basically his brakes don't work. But you can earn more bonus letters here. Unfortunately, you cannot earn any more extra letters. But do it successfully, earn as much as you can, and you rescue one of your friends, and you move on to the next theme. But a fantastic game it is also. And another thing I learned, but not from a manual, I actually learned it from Gumgear on one of my live streams. If you press M on the keyboard, it substitutes sound effects to music. Another thing I didn't know. So there we go, we arrive at the next theme. On we go, we do the same thing again, but of course it's a bit more difficult, it always does. But an amazing game. Now, even though this actually is only the second theme of the game, it's actually my least favourite theme in this game. Many lives have been lost on here, even though it is a great stage. Now, the enemies themselves, I think, do actually move in a specific pattern, but yes, they can be dispatched in multiple ways, and every weapon you pick up in this game has only one single use. You can take it on to the next stage, including the Fender Bender, which basically is a bumper that makes you temporarily invincible. So enemies, you just hit them with your bumper and knock them into the next millennium. But anyway, we're going to try and get our next letter. So leave one space unchanged, and if I've done it correctly, which I haven't, there's one more somewhere, the letter will arrive on the screen. Which is up there, is an X. And I did wonder if the character that you knock off screen has anything to do with that. It doesn't. It's basically humour. Unfortunately, I have missed one of the letters of this theme, but we're well on our way to earn the next life. But it's not being here, it's going to be on the next theme. But yes, even though it's very difficult to earn them, it's also very easy to lose them in this game. You don't want too many enemies on screen. Right, I think... No, down there. Superb. Leave one space unchanged. Hear the ping, pick up the T, and then finish the level. On we go. Amazing. One gave the entirety version of Carve Up an overall score of 90%, praising the arcade-style presentation, accentuated with cute graphics as well as simplistic and tremendously fun gameplay. The one also praised level design, which also combined with the game's enemy AI, which created a challenge that requires skill. The one also praised Carve Up's wonderfully colourful graphics and the jolly music in the game. And when it comes to the Atari ST, I've never seen or heard it before, but yes, this version has been played loads, and this is another difficult area, which back in the day, this is where normally had a game over. But anyway, it's not as bad now. In fact, I do get here and get past it pretty much every single time I play it, but it does have some very difficult jumps. And there is the final letter. We've got another word to spell extra. And bring up our lives from 5 to 6. Okay, next one on the list, another fantasy game on Amiga, but never finished it before. This is Atomic Robot Kid, only the CD4 version I have finished. Okay, so the game is Atomic Robot Kid, a horror-scrolling shooter released in arcades by UPL in 1988. In the US, the game was published by Nikon, and the PC Engine version was an adaptation of the arcade edition, which was published as Atomic Robot Kid Special. Which is a game and a version I desperately want to try out. But anyway, the version I'm playing now is one of my favourites on the Amiga, but I've never actually managed to finish this game before. Only the CD4 version I've finished. The reason why that is the case is because the CD4 version is a lot more easier than this, having less enemies on the screen. And in terms of enemies, depending on what the enemy is, making contact with the enemy won't actually kill you. It's actually the enemy bullets. Of course, a boss battle, a different story altogether. But yes, you can make contact with the enemies and survive, but don't be hit by their ammunition. But the bit I'm referring to, and I cannot believe it took me so long to realise it, is the weapons itself. Of course, you start off with the basic firepower, that's always the case in this game. You can get to the maximum of 4 quite quickly. But about a month ago, I decided to read the manual for the very first time. Because I've been playing this game since the 80s. But yes, if you hold the fire button down, and sometimes when you're trying to fire that button like there's no tomorrow, it's very easy to switch weapons. Sometimes you'll probably do it and not even realise you're doing it. But I did wonder if there's a way to stop that. And there is. But what you have to do is you have to press F3 on your keyboard. And that sort of basically stops it. So now when I hold the fire button down, it's not actually changing. But what it does change is you press the space bar on your keyboard, and that will actually allow you to change weapons, and you can keep it that way. But yes, whether you're a fan of spacebar using for weapon select is entirely up to you. I personally don't mind it. But in case of this situation, yes, it can be a bullet hell. There can be enemies all over the place. You want to try and keep in one weapon and one weapon intact, because you don't want to lose the weapon you currently got. And if it's your best weapon, you'll be dying with that, or trying to switch weapons all the time. But yes, this is fantastic. It makes it so much easier. Now you can press that button as though tomorrow and keep the weapon going. But yes, there's been many times in the past when I'm in the middle of a confrontation, and all of a sudden it switches weapons at the wrong time and really sort of puts you off. But yeah, brilliant, amazing. In the 21st century, a blast of cosmic radiation bombarded Terra 12, a deep space outpost of Earth, hideously mutating all transplanted life. Fleets of savage beings followed the radiation wave and invaded the planet and began the systematic destruction of the remaining central life. Years of battling alien governors have gone by, and now all hope survives to avenge the disparate terrain colonists. Meet new kid on the block, Atomic Robot Kids. And because my weapon's not changing, that made reading off the screen a tad easier. But yes, it is difficult, it's absolutely bombarded by so many bullets. Now, the bomb is the only weapon you have in your possession that actually kills enemy bullets, not just the enemies themselves. Which is great in a situation like this, but we're trying to get to the door. Which takes us to the boss battle. And again, switching weapons is so much better, provided you have them. But yes, I have got quite far in this game, but yes, there's a few bosses in this game. If you don't have the right weapon, it's pretty much a game over situation. If you're here, it's not too bad. But yes, the bosses are quite large in size, but yeah, it's brilliant. It really is good, and that does make it a tad easier, but only a tad. But there we go. Amazing game, Atomic Robot Kid. Can you tell what it is yet? Yes, of course you can. Even though technically it's spelled incorrectly on the title screen, the creators knew this. But there you go, amazing game. Finished it many times, including on live stream. This is The Great Giana Sisters. Okay, so the game is The Great Giana Sisters, 1987 platform game, developed by German studio Time Warp Productions and published by Rainbow Arts. The soundtrack of the game was composed by Chris Helsbeck and one of Commodore 64's popular soundtracks. The game is heavily based on Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. Released in 1985, with actual production being stopped shortly after release, but it did lead to a number of future sequels. Now I'm sure my friend Swedish House probably knows what bit I'm referring to, because actually Swedish House had told me, and it's based around power-ups. Now even though I actually have completed this game quite a few times, including on live streams, I keep sometimes forgetting to use the power-ups. We don't actually have to use them, but it helps if you do. What we don't use in terms of time, they convert into points. The player takes the role of Giana, a girl who suffers from a nightmare and will travel through 32 levels full up of monsters, while collecting dream crystals and looking for her sister Maria. If the player wins the battle, Giana will be awakened by her sister. The Great Giana Sisters is a 2D side-scrolling platform game in which the game supports alternating 2 players, with the second player taking control of Maria. Each level contains a number of dream crystals, and one of the dream crystals can give you additional life. Other lives can be found by picking up an item in the form of a lollipop. And like the Mario Brothers, you do start off with the basic skills. But once you've got a crazy haircut, you can start increasing your abilities by picking up lightning bolts, which makes you fire dream crystals. But yes, the weapons you pick up in this game are in a specific order. But yes, once you get to the pineapple, which I've been saying for years, it's actually a strawberry, then things turn a little bit more interesting because your dream bubbles are actually homing bullets, which actually go through walls, which is absolutely fantastic. But yes, the first two skills do play a big part, and they're quite easy to get hold of quite quickly. Unless you die, you lose everything. But the ones I'm referring to, which make you immune to fire and also freeze enemies on screen, do happen a little bit later on. But you don't actually have to get them. In fact, I get them multiple times. I just keep forgetting to use them all the time. But there we go. This game does have a time limit. Okay, let's talk about what I was going to talk about. But unfortunately, I died and restarted. But anyway, power-ups do play a big part in this game. But yes, I've been picking them up for years. And yes, the main ones I've been using for years. But yes, the clock. I've been collecting it and not knowing what to do with it. I've pressed every key on the keyboard in my younger days and gave up. Even spacebar didn't work, the enter key didn't work, so I'd assume it doesn't do anything. But Swedish House told me, you press down, forward on the joystick and fire, and it freezes everything on the screen, including dodgeballs and even the power-ups themselves, which is a bomb in this case. We're going to test out as well. It's pretty much done in the same fashion. Right, so you press down back and fire. And it kills everything on the screen, but only one use. But yeah, it's crazy. What I don't know is, does it work on boss battles? Because I've already used it, I have to restart and try again later. But yes, it's interesting, really interesting. Right, I've had to restart once again, but this time I have not used the power-ups yet. However, I've been a little bit too quick and I actually avoided the bomb altogether. So maybe I get a bomb on this stage at some point. But yes, does the freeze, does the bomb work on a boss? And another thing I didn't know back in the day, which of course I did find out on a stream a long time ago, is the bosses themselves. The spider and the dragon I've been avoiding for years, to then realise that you can actually kill them. It takes a lot of shots of course, but you expect nothing more, nothing less. But you can actually kill them. Which does make it a lot more easier, provided you have the dream bubbles, which of course I do. But yes, keep your distance and just keep firing at us no tomorrow. And we kill the evil spider. Yes. But I didn't test the power up, did I? No. Right, we're here again. In fact, this is actually my 4th attempt now. But yeah, I have to admit, I'm not a fan of speed running. But I've tried to get here as quickly as I can. And I think I probably could speed run this. But I'm probably not going to speed run this. But anyway, I have got both the icons. The bomb icon and the time icon. I'm not sure what they're actually technically called. And I've also got the immune to fire icon. But let's see if we can kill a spider with any one of these abilities. So we can freeze him to the spot. But can we kill the spider? You can! Look at that! But of course, you can only use it once. I've learnt today. Okay, we arrive at stage 12, which is a difficult stage, but we're going to try our skills and abilities with the dragon this time. I can't see why it won't work. I'm sure it will work. But we've got to try and get there first. But yeah, it does actually say in the manual, a manual I'm probably never going to own in my life, that the big unlucky dragon Fuchsia, which I'm assuming is its name, cannot stand a reasonable amount of dream bubbles. Now if I had that back in the day, I would have known that you can kill the dragon by shooting it multiple times. But if you've got the ability to do so, freeze it, kill it, and avoid it, and go on. What a game. Fantastic. That is the Great Giana Sisters. Okay, next one on the list, probably a game you probably wasn't expecting to see on this list. It's a fantastic game, but I do apologise about the green screen though, doing what it does best, but it's Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Okay, so the game is Gremlins 2, The New Batch, side-scrolling platform game developed by Motor Time, published by Elite in 1990, based on the movie of the same name. You play as Billy as described the journey from Camp Plaza, where compact and hordes of gremlins on the loose with occasional help from Gizmo. Collect all the parts needed to destroy the gremlins for good. And the game is good, but the game is tough. But yeah, if you're big fans of the films, who wasn't back in the day? Unfortunately, I wasn't old enough to see the film at the cinema, but my brother did see it at the cinema. I had to wait, but we wasted no time in getting this game. But we had no idea this game was going to be as difficult as it is. It's absolutely brutal. It's not an overly long game though, only 5 levels I think. But we didn't get far. A few occasions we did reach level 2, but we didn't get far into level 2. And one separate occasion I have reached level 4, but again, didn't get far into it. But I had no idea this game had a shop. And we never got far enough to realise it did have a shop. But at the bottom of the screen, you do have your life, which is 7, which is quite generous. But next to that is your credits, which is 3. I've always assumed that was continues. But I was wrong. I was so wrong. That's actually currency. Now, currency in this game, like Xenon 2 Mega Blast, is bubbles. Now, tomato is the worst weapon in this game. Every time you die, you lose your current weapon, which is tomatoes, which is no big deal. So you go back to basics. But yes, if you get to the end of the level, if you've got enough money in your bank account, which in this case is bubbles, then you go on to the shop. If you don't, just go on to the next level. But you do get some very easy, cheap deaths in this game. As you're leaving the screen, if there's a gremlin entering the screen, it's going to be a very easy kill for the gremlins. And you do get a time with it, but it's very rare I run out of time. I just keep getting killed by gremlins arriving on the screen mostly. But yes, the levels aren't overly long. Right, so we're only hit by tomatoes. But we're not too far away. But basically you've got to try and find one specific item. Now also icons in this game, L is life, P is points, T is time, R is Rambo Gizmo, and M is mystery. And it could be any one of those apart from Gizmo. But anyway, now we've got to try and climb the filing cabinet, which we don't say on a regular daily basis. But we've got to try and pick up whatever bubbles we can, if we can, in the limited time. But also, the platforms in games are always absolutely atrocious, and that one will actually fall beneath your feet. But anyway, congratulations, we found Gizmo's box. Now you've got to try and get to the elevator door. So get in there, but we haven't got enough money to buy anything from the shop. So we just go straight on to the next level. So there we go, no shop, no dice, we don't do anything apart from go to level 2. But what I'm going to do is, we're going to do it again, but pick up more bubbles. But yes, I had no idea this was a thing. Okay, deja vu, I sent it too. Right, I've got 7 minutes. I'm going to use these 7 minutes wisely to try and get as much currency as possible. I don't know what the minimum is to go into the shop. Probably 10 I expect, but I've only gone into the shop on one separate occasion. But yes, the weapons in this game are tomatoes, the standard torch, the telephone, the two-way torch, the frisbee, the boomerang, the mega torch, and the two-way mega torch, which is the greatest weapon. But however, every time you pick up a weapon, it cancels out what you've got in your possession. Well, let's see how well we can do with 6 minutes and 30 seconds remain. But yes, if you take too long, the jetpack gremlin is going to arrive on the screen, and he's doing defeat. Right, we're getting there. It's all really good doing it like this, but the trouble is the money gets floated away. It's difficult to get hold of sometimes. It takes too long. It pops. Anyway, we've got 9. If we go with 10, head to the exit door. Gremlins all over the place. Right. A difficult climb. Time it well. Jump. Don't fall through the floor. Right, we've got it. Right, head back. Get to the exit door. There you go. We've got 10. Player 1, buy new default weapon. Right, we arrived at the shop. Right, so we can buy a grand total of 1, 2, 3 items, a torch, a tomato, and a telephone. We'll go for a torch. There's not a lot of options, but yes, you need 50 credits to buy the two-way mega torch. So there we go, after all that work, this is my torch, which is the default one, I think it is. But there we go, it's a fantastic game, it really is good, but tough though. That is Gremlins 2, the new batch. Okay, up the ante once again, another game that doesn't really get mentioned very much. It's a fantastic game though, Impossible Model, copyright 1990. Okay, so the game is Impossible, a platform game developed by Corner Sign for the Amiga, Atari ST, Commodore 64, MCC, and NSX Spectrum. Released in 1990, published by Gremlin Graphics. NEC Technologies published the game for the TurboGrafx 16 the following year, and it's the 6th and final game in the Monty Bowl series. The game is similar to that of Quick Dangerous 2, another game by Core Design, which features a Cape Cod superhero, Monty Mole, who is recruited by aliens to retrieve the Sacred Scrolls. As in Quick Dangerous 2, the first 4 levels can be played in any order. Finishing the 4 levels unlocks the 5th and final level in the game. The game's themes are similar to that of Quick Dangerous 2. The player progresses horizontally as well as climbing up ladders, and Monty Mole is equipped with weapons and does have a flying kick to defend himself against any enemies lurking about. Which is very, very difficult to read while doing it, but another fantastic game, and yes, we did get it back in the day, but it took me some years to have got myself a box version. But me and Bo did play it quite a lot back in the day, but we got absolutely nowhere. We never got past the first level. It's nice you can do the levels any order you like, but we still didn't get past any of the levels. It took me quite some time until I did, but now I can make some good progression in this game. In fact, I got to the final level on 2 occasions, which is the Bermuda Triangle. but unfortunately this game has no continues. But it's still amazing what I've learned over the course of playing this game. But yes, you can replenish your energy by picking up a can of worms. But you can get bazookas in this game, which of course makes it a lot more easier. But of course it's limited in time. But you can also pick up lots of gold, pick up treasure chests. There's a lot to see and do here. I don't know why it took me so long to realise that the mole from Monty on the Run and the mole from the Possum Mole is the same mole. But I haven't played many of the Monty Mole games anyway. The first time I played Monty on the Run was actually on the Amsterdam CBC. One of my friends from school had it. Of course, I played it a lot more on Season 4. But this is also, yes, a very good game. And I can get a lot further than this than I can in Monty on the Run. But yes, both of them are very, very good games. But another thing I learned from the manual, and bear in mind the manual is one of the smallest manuals I've ever seen in an Amiga game, you also do have a special power, which pressing the spacebar kills all enemies on the screen. So I wasn't really aware of that, but yeah, limited to one per theme. For some reason my character's grouped with Spot. Okay, about halfway through this level so far, but yes, back in the day, we got nowhere near this part of the level. We got nowhere near this part of the level in any of the levels, even though you get to pick whatever level you want, which is a nice touch. We died very early on. My brother pretty much gave up not long after getting the game, but I wanted to continue with it and find out a little bit more about the game. But yeah, I had a bit of a break from it, and then all of a sudden, one random day, everything just went right. And I managed to stumble across something I didn't know existed in this game, another shop. Which, believe it or not, is a shopkeeper, which is also a mole, which is underneath the ground. But once you find the shop, you want to make sure you've got enough money to spend in the shop. The most minimum you want to try and have is £75 if you want to get just a can of worms. If you want to get the really good stuff, you want to try and get there with at least £200. Or dollars, or gold pieces, what do they call it. But also, it's handy you know where it is, and also every level has one. Okay, so this is the shop. The first time I got here, I couldn't believe there actually was one. But yes, I didn't have a lot of money to spend, so all I bought was a £75 can of worms. I did that for quite a number of goes. Until one day I got here with 200 gold pieces, and I decided up the ante and go for the £200 extendo bar. And all I was expecting it to happen was fill up the bar completely, but what it did was it actually extended it a fraction more. And that was the wow factor. In fact, ever since that day, that's all I have been buying from the shop. And everything has a shop. And every shop has an extendo bar. So of course you're going to keep finding them, keep buying them, then you can sustain much, much more damage. In a game like this, you want as much of an energy bar as possible. But a huge game changer. But yes, that actually allowed me to get past quite a few levels. It's still a much, much difficult game though. We're still trying to get past the 5th level. But I couldn't believe I didn't know that. But there we go. Another great game, another great thing to know about. Which I didn't know in the early days of playing it. But there we go. One day, I'm sure I'll get that first to completion, but till then, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep extending the bar, and don't take too much damage. It's a fantastic game though, that is impossible. Okay, day 3 of this video, just got on from work, made myself a cup of tea, and resumed playing with the video. 2 more to go. Next on the list is Alien Breed, the interactive movie. Now, even though I saw the movie very late in my life, I saw it in 2020, the game itself I did play quite a bit, but never really got far in this one. Okay, so the game is Clive Barker's Nightbreed interactive movie. It's a 1990 arcade adventure game developed by Impact Software, published by Ocean Software, the Commodore Amiga, Atari ST, and MS-DOS. It's based on Clive Barker's movie Nightbreed, which in turn is based on Barker's novella Cabal, which was originally supposed to be part of a trilogy alongside Clive Barker's Nightbreed and the action game and the ultimately unreleased RPG. And that was also very difficult to read while doing it. The first thing we'll try and do is go to the hospital. You are taken into care and feeling great relief, you fall asleep. You are woken by a mumbling and see a crazy man talking of a place where all the sins can be forgiven, a place where the mad and the condemned. I can't read that quickly, it goes too quick, but basically you steal a car and you head for the Maiden. I'm assuming that is how you pronounce it, which is located at the top right corner. And I went there every single time I played it, but I never got out of there. I was killed every single time by the same character in the same way. We've got to try and get there by not running out of fuel. You do get roadblocks, you have to go through the roadblock, but also risking a punch or getting shot, or even crashing your car, which I have seen on one separate occasion. But you can either go through the roadblock or find an alternative route. Also, you do have a fuel gauge, you can replace your fuel by going to the gas station, or the petrol station, wherever you are in the world. But yes, you can also replenish your gas or petrol and fix any damage to your car, including the puncture. But it all costs a price. I don't know how much money you've got, but we've done it anyway. But now we're going to head to the graveyard. Okay, so one of 3 locations, but yes, technically at the start of the game it does say to go to the Maiden, which unfortunately you're ripped to pieces by a berserker. Quite sudden, but that's actually game over. So yes, basically we're dead. The end. Without you, the Nightbreed were doomed and wiped off the face of the earth. So of course I got there, found out I got a restart, and I did just that. Okay, we're here again, but yeah, it's not having the greatest of days, but yes, also you can have the choice of looking around, which I also did back in the day, but unfortunately you come face to face with Dr. Decker and the police. And I'm not going to read all that because it takes too long for me to read it. But basically, he shouts, he's got a gun, and drops to the floor. And you're shot about 50 times. So yes, he's on a really bad day. But yes, we're dead again. The end. Without you, the Nightbreed are doomed and wiped off the face of the earth. So we've got to restart again. Okay, so you're having a really bad time at the moment. Not the greatest of days, but you're technically supposed to go to the graveyard, which is exactly what I did back in the day, and you're confronted by Peloquin. And every single time he killed me. You're not breed, you are meat. He bites you on the neck. And what you're going to try and do is basically run like Forrest Gump. But having no manual back in the day, I tried everything, wagging the joystick, tapping the fire button. I might have got a little bit of distance, but the result was always the same. We're dead. The end. Without you, the Nightbreed were doomed and wiped off the face of the earth. So as you can expect, in the early days of playing this game, I gave up quite quickly because it took quite so long to get to that location to have the same result. And yes, I did read the manual quite a few times. But early on today, before I went to work, I had a random go and I managed to get past it for the very first time. Okay, he really is having the worst luck ever. But anyway, go to the graveyard, and even after getting the manual, I still didn't fully understand it. I did try multiple times, but basically when you're running like this, you press the fire button every time your hand is in front of your chest. But earlier on today, before going to work, I had a random go and decided to just keep pressing the button repeatedly. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now, and I'm sure I did do that back in the day. But I'm assuming I didn't do it enough. But as you can see at the top of the screen, we've got a bit of a gap between myself and the enemy. But yes, this guy has died more than enough times in one day. I want to try and keep his life intact. For how long, I don't know. But yes, keep going. Just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. Run like Little Christie. And we do survive. But unfortunately, not for long. Because once again, we're shot down dead by pistols. So yes, not a good day. Your lifeless body is taken to the mortuary, but yes, we're dead again. But this time, not for long. But within your veins is Maiden. Late at night, you come back to life, you jump through the window with life after death. Heading for the Maiden once again. So yes, just your average day for this guy. But after getting past that and decided to continue to the Maiden and think that was the right way to go, to be proved wrong once again. But Laurie has been mutilated by the mask, overcome remorse, and flee Maiden straight to the arms of the Sons of the Free. We then take it into isolation and chuck behind bars, and that's actually game over. So yeah, I'm not doing very well, but I'm making some good progress. But without you, the Nightbreed were doomed and wiped off the face of the earth. So yes, I didn't get far in the game, I am getting further in the game, but it's slow pace. It's a great game nevertheless, that is Nightbreed. Okay, final one on the list, another fantastic game is Captain Dynamo. Apologies about the green screen being mean to the green, know what I mean? But a great game nonetheless. Finished it quite quickly this one. Okay, so the game is Captain Dynamo, a vertical scrolling platform game developed and published by Codemasters, released in 1992. Captain Dynamo, an Asian superhero, is brought out of retirement to recover a haul of stolen diamonds from a trap-infested rocket ship from the villainous Austin Flyswatter. It was published for the Commodore Amiga, Atari ST, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum, Amstrad CPC and MS-DOS. Versions for the Game Gear and Mega Drive were planned but were never released. And another really good game. In fact, I went through a little bit of a Codemasters spell back in the day by getting this one in 1992, and then a week later I bought Slightly Magic, and a couple of weeks later I bought Stake the Slug, all done by Codemasters, or published by Codemasters, whatever the case may be. But this one I actually finished quite quickly. Within the first few hours of playing it, I'd already finished it. But yes, a great game, really is good, and even to this day it's good fun to play. But yes, your character's quite slow, but it is supposed to be, being an old age pensioner, should we say. But yes, every time you see an S, that is actually a checkpoint. The goal is to collect as many diamonds as possible in each stage, and then enter the teleport unit at the top. The task is complicated by various mechanical hazards and creatures. Now, even though he is technically a retired superhero, he doesn't have any additional skills apart from the jump. You have the high jump and a medium jump, but that's the only way you can kill enemies, by jumping on their heads. You don't have to pick up all the diamonds, but it helps. Get to the teleport and you finish the stage. Any pickups you pick up, any secrets you find, is converted to points. Okay, this is actually level 3, but I've edited out the second level just to bring the length down of this video. But it's a great game, like I say, not overly long though, but I have finished it many times. And I have to admit though, I'm not a big fan of warping in games. Of course, many games have it, like Great Giant Sisters and New Zealand Story, and of course Super Mario Brothers, to name a few. But I had no idea this game had one. But one particular day, about a year or so ago, I decided to keep going right for some reason. I don't know why I did, but I did. And I found a hidden room. And it takes you completely utterly away from where you were going. And in fact, there's no enemies here at all, apart from absolutely bombarded by so many gems, of course, give you additional points. But yes, at the top of the screen, I was expecting there to be a door that takes you back to where you were. But no, it actually takes you completely utterly past the level. Now, considering the game isn't overly long, there's quite a large chunk of the game just taken away. But yet this is level 3. Even though it does actually say a question mark on the left hand side, but it also does award you additional life as well. Go for the teleports, pick up bonus, and secret bonuses awarded to you. So there we go, in no time at all, a great big leap from level 3 to level 4. I mean 4 lives intact. But yes, considering the game's not overly long, there's quite a large chunk of the game taken away by a simple warp. Very surprising really, but yes, the game is good, it really is good. But yes, it's a good way of earning additional points. I have to admit though, I probably won't use that warp very much, because the game isn't overly long anyway. There are a few things I'd like to change about this game, and your character speed is not one of them. But yes, the game has no sound effects. It would be nice to have the sound effects, maybe some more levels, and also the villain in this game, Austin from Frost Spotter, does not feature in the game in any shape or form, which also is quite surprising. But the game is great, and I have no idea that there was a warp. Maybe there's more, I don't know, I doubt it. The game can't be shortened any more than that. But it's a great game, hope you enjoyed my video. That is 10 things you didn't know back in the day, which I know now, and that is Captain Dynamo. Okay everybody, that's more than footage. That is episode 2 of 10 things I didn't know back in the day, which I do now on the Amiga. Some have led to completion, some are very close to completion. But I hope you enjoyed my video. If you like what I do, please like and comment. You can find me on most platforms, some rewards games, find fairly easily. More videos like this, do long plays like cheese, pepper making, and live streams every Friday night. You can time 8 o'clock. It's hard of a week. So bye, see ya. Okay, so the game is James Bond Under the Water Agent, a 1990 video game. Okay, so the game is James Bond Underwater Agent, a 1990 video platform game developed by a British video game developer Millennium Interactive and published by Millennium Interactive and Electronic Arts Amiga. Type ST. Played that one? I haven't. I recommend it. It's a 1990 platform video game developed by British video game developer Millennium Interactive and published by Millennium Interactive and Electronic Arts with Amiga Commodore 64. It's not on the Commodore 64, Jamie. It's not on the Commodore 64. I would like it to be, but it wasn't to be. 1990 platform video game that was developed by British video game developer Millennium Interactive and published by Millennium Interactive and Electronic Arts for Amiga. Type ST. The Icon Archimedes. Published by Millennium Interactive and Electronic Arts with Amiga. Akari. Who is Akari? I don't know who Akari is. Okay, so the game is Atomic Robo Kid, a horizontal scrolling shooter released in arcades by UPL in 1988 in the US. The game was published by Nicom and Okay, so the game, this is Atomic Robo Kid, a horizontal scrolling shooter released in arcades by UPL in 1988 in the US. The game was published as... There was a full stop there. Okay, so the game is Gremlins 2 The New Batch. It's a side-scrolling platform game developed by Motive Time and published by Elite in 1990. Published by Elite in... Said that twice. Okay, so the game is Impossible, a platform game developed by Core Design for the Amiga, Atari ST, Commodore 64, Amstrad PC, and the ZX Spectrum. It was released in 1990 and published by Core Design. No, it was made by Core Design. It was published by Gremlin Graphics, Jamie. Right. Okay, so the game is The Great Giant Sisters, a 1987 platform game developed by German studio Time Warp Productions. No, Time Warp Productions, Jamie. That's the way.